you gonna do? What 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 are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Hello, everybody. Over the Ridge, number 15. We are at number 15, amazingly enough. God, time is flying the frick by. How is it going by so fast? I don't know. I think we're in another dimension now. It's going so fast. I keep looking at my watch thinking it's not going to match up with what's outside. Something strange is going on with time. Another dimension. But welcome, everybody. Trish, hello. Patricia. Glory, hello. Jamie. Marina. Everybody. God, there's so many people from all over the world here. Let's go over to the Instagram. This is Devin DeVasquez, I see. Pammy, hello, Pammy. Welcome, welcome. Melissa, the wildflower. I like that. The wildflower. That's great. Hello, hello. Giada. Laura. Laura. Look at that. Hello, hello. So many countries. Canva from South Africa. Love it. Monica from Germany. Hello from Germany. To Germany. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Jackie from Belgium. Many people from all over the world. I love it. I'm glad that everybody seems to have gotten the message, hopefully, that it was an hour later. And I did that for a few reasons. One, I'm solo now. I don't have Mr. Fly Amiro co-hosting anymore. He had some family things he had to take care of, and he needed the summer free to do all that stuff. And so I'm on my own here, but we were doing it because the 2 o'clock thing seemed to feel so good to him on the East Coast. And so it was 11 o'clock for us, 2 o'clock for them, 8 o'clock for Europe. Now we're going to make it, now I decided to make Europe the primary reason that we're at 12 o'clock now, so that 9 o'clock at night in Europe is a little more palatable for the Europeans than 8 o'clock, because they all eat dinner at 8 o'clock, especially in Italy, which I have to get used to because I'm about to experience that for the next many months. That late 8 to 9 o'clock dinner thing. It's Devin and I always like to get dinner out of the way at like 5 or 6 in the afternoon. But 8 and 9 o'clock, so he thought to put it at 9 o'clock. So we did that. That's why we're changing it. But I'm glad everybody is coming along with us and changing the time. I try to put it out there. I try to put the messages out there, but I can't always get the time to do that. I've done an interesting thing this last week. We actually got together the beginnings of what will be Ron Moss's Player. Ron Moss's player. And with Mr. John Starr, Jimmy Carnelli, John Starr on keyboards and vocals, Jimmy Carnelli on drums and vocals, and we're adding Shim von Schreck to bass and vocals with us. And it came off very, very nicely, and I'm very, very happy because so when we come back to the United States, we'll have a group that will embark on yet more adventures. So there we go. All right. I wanted to introduce our guest for today. She is extremely lovely. I've known her for many, many years. She is a singer, a songwriter. Her name is Lisa Casalino. And, well, let's all meet her together. And we can go from there. So, Miss Lisa Casalino, come on in. Hello, sweetie.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, good
Or
evening.
afternoon, I guess. Well, it depends on where you are.
There we go. We are, here, let me take this off here so it looks a little, there we go. Okay. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm excited.
You are in California now.
I am. Yep.
And Lisa is a musician, singer-songwriter. And you and I have actually, I don't know how many shows we've actually done together. We've done quite a few shows over the years together.
Yeah.
Just being at the same place, or I've invited you in a few of those that I've done on my own. And you come and guest appear. And you and I usually do a couple duets together, right?
Yeah, we have some we did some jams at some houses, and then we did Vibrato last year, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Vibrato is a great venue. If anybody in California, Southern California, has never heard of Vibrato, it's Eden Alpert has Vibrato. It's up in the Beverly Glen area, up at the top there, and it's a wonderful, wonderful jazz venue and rock and roll too. But they do all kinds of different music all the time. It's really, really cool. It's such a great sound system. When you're a musician and you go perform someplace and they have a great sound system, you remember that.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're pros there, and so many people came out to see you. It was like a who's who in the crowd.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a cool story you just reminded me of. I'm
Okay.
doing a show up there, not the last one I did last year, but the one before, and the place is pretty much filled, and I start my show, and in the back, I see this figure walk in the dark, but I can see him and nobody else can because it's all dark for them, and it's Tom Jones. And Eden warned me that Tom might be coming to the show. And so he comes over and he sits over in his little favorite booth, his usual booth over there. And I'm going, holy crap, it's Tom Jones. And of course, I get that little tingly thing that you get when you have an artist like that in your presence. Because what a singer. What a singer.
Yeah.
He's got to be 80 something now, and he still can sing so amazingly. It's just wonderful. But he watched the whole show, and I ended up dedicating one of my last songs, Sharp Dressed Man, the ZZ Top song, to him. I just made it aware that he was there and all. It was so cool. But it was one of those moments that, when you have somebody very special come to see what you do.
Right.
It's always
Yeah.
cool. So Lisa,
Well, your show, I got to meet downtown Julie Brown at your show.
Yes.
You know, when I sang with you, so I was like so happy.
She's a character as well.
Yeah,
She's
I love
a
her. She was so
very
nice.
dear friend of another friend of ours, who I will mention, Tina. I want everybody
Tina,
to
yes.
collectively send a bunch of great, wonderful, healing vibes to Tina. She had some major surgery 2 days ago, and it's like open heart type surgery stuff
Oh,
to
wow.
do some things for her she came down with something in her lungs and all, and they have to go through the heart into the lungs. And anyway, she's
Oh my
doing
gosh.
fine. She's recovering. It was a 6-hour surgery instead of a 10-hour surgery. We're all very, very happy to get that message that she's out early and everything went very well. But I
Oh,
want
good.
everybody here, please, to collectively just
Yes.
send Miss Tina a wonderful amount of love and healing vibes. That would be very appreciated, and
Love her. She's an
she will
amazing
feel it.
artist too,
She is.
herself. Yes.
She is also a painter. Painter.
Yeah.
She's been studying guitar too. She's been learning guitar from since
She does everything, I feel like.
she's just a creative, one of those live wire people.
Yeah.
So it's all. So Lisa,
Yeah.
let me ask one of those kind of silly cliche questions. How did you start in music? When did you realize you wanted to sing or be a musician?
Okay. So I've always been singing and love music, and my parents are big music fans, and my dad had this like huge collection of records and jukeboxes growing up. My mom played guitar and sang to us when we were little, and my dad actually was like in a little doo-wop group when he was in his teens. And so music's always been a part of my life. And um, when I was in elementary school, I did the chorus and I did the orchestra. And then when I got to middle school, I kept on with the orchestra. And then high school, I wound up getting into a singing group as a freshman, like beating out a lot of like upperclassmen and seniors. And I thought, well, maybe I'm actually kind of good at this. And so I just always loved singing and music. But I went into music education first before I realized, that I love to teach music because I wanted everyone to like love it like I did. And then I got into performing. And at first I was just performing with like the house bands and finding gigs here and there. And then I wanted to do more. So I just decided to kind of strike out on my own, and I loved jazz music and, the standards. And so I'm like, where can I sing this? Where is there a market? And a friend of mine was playing at all of these nursing homes and, adult living places. And so he's like, they're always looking for entertainment. So at that time, I was also doing like part-time real estate. So I was learning how to like, market. Like I learned all of my marketing skills through real estate school, I guess. And so I went to the yellow pages, if any of you watching know what that is. And I found it's this archaic way of finding businesses. This was in the late 1900s. Okay. And so I found, I found like 50 nursing homes in my area. And I sent little cover letters out to them with picture and like a song list, and was like, hey, I sent it to their, like events managers, I guess, of these homes. And 10
Right,
of them
right.
got right back to me. And I started singing at these nursing homes. And then clubs were opening and they were like, well, where can we see you? And I'm like, oh, you can see me at home with friends. And, they're like, what's that? I'm like, it's a nursing home. And honestly, that's
So
how I
you would
booked
have then been the queen of the nursing home circuit.
They listen. I always say my crowds are like the under 8s and the over 80s. Like they love me. So I started doing that, and it's funny because when I decided I wanted to, really try to get into these venues and restaurants and clubs, and I didn't have anything but like a business card. I didn't even have like a website, but just word of mouth and just kind of bothering people like, listen, hire me for a night. If it doesn't work out, I'll never bother you again, but it always seemed to kind of work out. And just over a couple of years, I started singing like at restaurants and then getting regular residencies. And I was singing at tracks at first, and then I was hiring piano players and then bass players and then, drummers. And then it just kind of snowballed into this amazing career that I was like singing over 220 nights a year steadily.
Whoa,
So
that's a
yeah,
lot.
a lot,
That's
a
a,
lot. Yeah.
that's a lot of
And
stuff.
yeah, so it was a lot of
Do you
fun.
still
And
have Do you still have those bands that you perform with, different
Well,
bands?
that was out. That was when I was living in Florida.
Okay.
And then I moved to LA and I just kind of revamped and started doing the same thing. And so, yes, I mean, here in LA, there's a lot of opportunities as well. And so when I first moved here, I got a job as a hostess at a restaurant that I knew was going to have live music. And I had never hostess before, but I lied and like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. And well, when I did it, there was no open table, whatever, but I'll figure it out. And I knew that if I was there in the right place, that sooner or later I was gonna have an opportunity to sing, and that's what happened. And I think you all came out to one of my first shows. It was like
I
almost
think we
10 years
did.
ago, and I didn't
Yes.
realize how far away. I didn't know, like, I didn't really know LA at the time. I had only been living here about 6 months, and then I met you guys, and
Hmm.
then you came all the way out from like Camarillo. I mean, it was really far when I saw on the map because then I went to come visit you. I'm like, oh my God, they came all the way out here to see me sing. It was so sweet. And that
Yes, we
was
did.
at Spaghettini in Beverly Hills. And so, after like just hostessing there for a couple of months, I started singing there regularly. And then, of course, networking and meeting all these amazing musicians and just kind of redid it here in LA.
You've done albums as well, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do you have
I,
you have some of those albums there?
I do. I have my CDs. I know no one's listening to CDs anymore, but they make great coasters. So I'm actually in the process of writing writing new music, and I hope to get recording to it again. But I have this one here. This was my first CD.
Very
Um,
first one.
yeah. Well, actually, no. There's actually CDs before this when I
Okay.
was doing country. So they're called Songs from a Leo's Heart. But I don't know what those are, just somewhere in the ether right now in the mp3worlds.com. But this is my first jazz CD. And there's originals on here and there's, standards and stuff like that.
Okay. Let's segue into an example of
Oh yeah.
what you do. Uh, I don't know what would you call this a certain style? It's
Well, are you playing is that on the menu? Is that what you're going to play?
yes, yes.
Okay, so that's on this CD. This was my second one, and it's different than the other songs. I've always been a huge fan of the Andrews Sisters or the McGuire Sisters, and
Okay.
so it's different than anything else on the record, but it is that like vintage sound. And I kind of got the idea of like, I really liked this guy. And I would always just kind of randomly see him out at restaurants and stuff like that. And I'm like, if only he was on the menu, And so that kind of gave me an idea for the song. And I got two of my really good friends to come and sing with me on it. And my songwriting partner, he helped me with the harmonies, Nate Najjar. I just want to give him a shout out. And but we did this video actually today, 10 years ago to the day. We did
Cinco
this
de
video,
Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. We started at 10 p.m. at night because we had to wait for the place to close. And we filmed overnight all the way to 6 o'clock in the morning. And
Wow.
Jim Webb helped me direct and filmed the video. And I got all my friends to star in it. And we just had a great time. And the chef, Marty, he is a real chef and he's the shyest guy, but he has like these, you'll see him in the video, tattoos and everything. And I'm like, you must be in my video, please. And he did such a great job. Everyone did. It was so much fun.
Now, are the three girls other than you? Are the other two girls singing, or are they singing your parts?
No, we're all singing. We all sang and we recorded it like they would have done. We all sang into one microphone. We did
Okay,
not track. So we really needed to hear ourselves. So it's Samantha Fusek, Samantha Lee, and Heather Kruger. They're both singers and really, really good friends of mine. And we rehearsed the parts together and we recorded it all onto one microphone. And
cool, cool.
um, yeah, and
All
then
right,
they
this
did
is
the
called
circle.
Is That on the Menu? Is that on the menu? Okay, let me pull this up. You and I will be on screen on the side as we
Okay.
watch this. It's a sharing screen thing. So we can all watch it together. And let's go with hit here. And okay, and here we go.
I see something really sweet, but I'm sure it's bad for me. For when I want a tasty treat, there's only one thing it could be. It isn't the chocolate, it isn't the pie, it isn't the ice cream, but that's a good try. It's you, sugar, and only you. A kiss is what I crave. I know I shouldn't be wanting this, and I really ought to behave. But I'm a gal who knows what she wants, and to my taste buds shall be true. To press my lips against yours, love, is that on the menu? I hear the tiramisu is rich, and the apple pie's divine. Bananas foster may hit the spot, but not as much as you being mine. I don't worry about the calories, for I'm sure if they came from you, they're the kind that would look good on me. Is that on the menu? The moment I first laid eyes on you, I knew I had to taste. The way you walked into the room made the other candy feel out of place. They say a woman should love her curves, and I've got curves, it's true. There's no denying my sweet tooth, babe. Is that on the menu? I hear the tiramisu is rich, and the apple pie's divine. Bananas foster may hit the spot, but not as much as you being mine. So what do you say I pass on the display of the cheesecake made for two? A nibble on your ear sounds just about right. Is that on the menu? Are you on the menu? I'd like to see the takeout menu. Check, please.
Cute.
So many fun memories of that night. Oh gosh. Okay. It was a lot of fun.
Very cute. Very cute. Oh God. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I
can't
love the
believe it's
saddle
been-
shoes.
Oh,
Love
I
the
know,
saddle
right?
shoes. I had a couple pairs of those back when I was in junior high, and I wore them all the way. People would go, "What the hell are those?" I go, "Oh, never mind. It's just my own thing."
I
That was very
repurposed
cute.
that. I repurposed that costume when I first moved to LA. I got on the show Let's Make a Deal with
Really?
Wayne Brady, the host. Yeah, I was the waitress, and I got on the show, and he called me. I was like the first contestant, and he was like, "What do you do?" And I said, "I sing." And he's like, "Oh, you can't just say you're a singer and not sing. What do you sing?" I said, "Jazz." He's like, "Make up a song about the show," and I did. And yeah, it's on YouTube somewhere. If you Google my name and the show, you'll see it. So, but I got to use
Very,
it.
very cute. That's
Yeah.
I was looking at the you have some shots with extras and stuff, people in the background.
Yeah.
And it always makes me laugh when they're not paying attention to something obviously that's going on in front of them. And the director probably said, okay, you guys just pretend like you're having a conversation and all.
Like,
but-
this is all normal right now.
It's all normal. But they don't look or appreciate that these people are dancing in front of them and all that stuff. You know.
Yeah. I
Very
know. It's so
cute.
funny.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Can you see the comments? I just wonder if you have...
I can
Okay.
see. Yeah. Somebody had saddle shoes too, and the 40 sound, and yeah. Thank you.
We have a lot of people going beautiful and
Aw, thank you. I can only see
wonderful.
a few of them.
we have a lot of people on Instagram. Instagram is a different. I have to go to a different page for that because it doesn't give me their comments in the same
okay.
page. Yeah, everybody's going just great, absolutely
Oh, it's
wonderful.
really sweet. Thank you. It's a lot of fun.
Cool,
The
cool
restaurant
stuff.
had that vintagey look, and I used,
Yeah.
they're like friends of mine, so they're like, sure. They were just like, you can use the space. It was so nice. Everyone was so generous.
Was that in Florida or California?
Yeah, that's in Tampa, Florida. Yeah, in
Okay.
South Tampa. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it was called Daily Eats. I don't think it's open anymore. If it is, it's under a different name. But it had that it was like the perfect look for the video, I thought. So
I wanted people to know that I will continue the show in Europe. Devin and I will leave in pretty much 2 weeks from now to go first to Italy and then to Finland and then back to Italy. And we have a lot of projects and things that we're going to be doing there and touring with the music as well. But I'm going to still continue to do our Sunday shows. There's only one show. Now, when I said I think it was the 19th, 2 or 3 Sundays from now, I said I was going to be gone because I have to fly. Well, we're flying at night. So I can do the show on 3 Sundays from now. The 4th one, the 26th, I'm just letting people know, the 26th, I'm going to have to take a day off with that one because I've got this show called Mara Venier in Italy, in Roma, and I've got to dedicate the Sunday day to her show. It's a live show that she does every Sunday. So I'll tell everybody each week leading up to that as well. And I also wanted to just mention that people have asked me about the intro to Over the Ridge. It's an intro that we put together from clips that I've had overseas in my touring in Italy. And I wrote the tune on a train going from San Moritz back to Italy. This thing came to me and I put down all the vocals and layered them up and did like a little demo of the vocal stuff. And then when I got to Italy, I played all the guitars and the drums and the bass and I put all the rest of the stuff on there. But it's an original tune. So, because people have been asking about that. So I thought I'd put that in there too.
yeah, I love the intro. It's great.
All right. I'm going to do a little song that I've always loved. It's a song that Elvis did. Elvis. It's a song I've always loved, and I've done it in concert a few times, but I haven't done it in years. So I'm trying to kind of experiment with things I haven't done in so long, but you'll probably recognize it. And I'll dedicate this, Lisa, to you. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me long, take me to your heart, for it's then that I belong and will never part. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will.
Beautiful.
I think you and I might have done that as a little duet. I'm not sure, but I thought it felt like something we probably would have done, but
Yeah.
that's why.
I think
So,
we did like noodle around with it at your house,
Yeah.
maybe, or
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
up at Sue's or something. Yeah. That was beautiful. I just love those, just like classic, simple love songs.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. I think
Yeah.
there's a reason they last so long, isn't
Right.
it? If anybody has any questions for Lisa, just fling them my way, and let's see what we can get going here. Tina, love you also too. Okay, thank you, Tina.
Sweet.
Thank you very much. It's very sweet. You got little claps.
Yeah.
And
See what-
Rafaela. Let's see. Oh God,
When are you going to sing with
She brought
Rafaela?
up she brought up a memory. Rafaela Carla. Rafaela Carla is no longer with us, and she's one of the. She remembers me singing that song with her in Italy.
Oh.
And every time people bring her up, I just, it's like it brings up a whole emotion thing. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. I was on one of their shows, and they asked me about her, and I got all emotional. I felt kind of weird. I felt embarrassed because I was I couldn't help it, getting all emotional on everybody. Talking about her because she was such a lovely woman. She was the queen of those shows, of the live talk shows, music shows and stuff. And she was just so wonderful. And she really took me in, and early on, when I first was going to Italy. So it was very special. But anyway, everybody, yeah, I had saddle shoes too. It's very funny.
We're still on the saddle shoes.
There's something about that era.
Yeah.
I had a girl that lived across the street from me in Hollywood. Her name was Tammy Gowers, and Tammy owned a club in our then area, Los Feliz, called the Derby. It was basically the Brown Derby, one of the most famous clubs in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And they would do that kind of music. Everything was 40s and 50s and all. And they would have people come and dance. You could come an hour before and learn to dance the jitterbug or the whatever all those dances were. And then the band would come, and it would be a jitterbug type band or a big band, and they would play that music, and everybody would dance in that style. And they all dressed up just like you girls did in that thing.
Yeah.
And she would have parties at her house across the street. And all the cars coming up the hill were like 1930s and 40s style cars.
Oh, wow.
And these people were seriously into it.
Yeah.
It was like going back into an era. I
Yeah.
felt like I had jumped back into an era before I was even born, right? It was so cool. So wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, the song is more 40s, but then we did the 50s look, with the song. So we kind of blended those two, decades with the song. But, my students, we did Grease, a musical. Oh, for those listening, I also teach at Hollywood High School currently, and I do choir and AP Music Theory and the musicals. And we did Grease last year, and the kids loved going. Like, I brought a bunch of my dresses and accessories in, and the kids loved, getting dressed up and doing the show. And of course, they all wanted saddle shoes, and it's a lot of
Where would
fun.
you find a bunch of saddle shoes?
Right, Amazon, I guess.
Really? Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny though, when you're looking for something, you never can find it, but when you're not looking for it, you see them. But I mean, I think I got mine at like a long time ago, but I think I got mine at like a Payless or something, believe it or not, like a long, long
Okay.
time ago.
So let's talk about the teaching thing.
Oh, yeah.
What got you into teaching? It's just something you've always had an affinity for?
Yeah, I mean, like at the start of the show, I talked about like knowing that I loved music, and I loved
Right.
my music teachers, and I'm still in touch with them. So shout out to Miss Sullivan or Jackie Morrow now, and Mrs. Conti, who actually also taught Jackie Morrow and me. So it was like we're like three generations of teachers, and we're all very close friends. And so because of them, I really wanted to be a music teacher as well. So I've been teaching since 1994. It was my first year of teaching in New York. And then I moved down to Florida, and I opened a brand new high school at the age of 23. And the school's Durant High. And I actually wrote the alma mater for that school. And it's on their gymnasium wall to this
Oh,
day.
cool. How cool
Yeah,
is that?
so it was super cool, and I loved it. And then I taught there for 8 years, and then I was like, you know what? I want to sing professionally. I just don't want to teach anymore. I was kind of burned out. Like, I spent my entire 20s teaching. And I honestly thought that when I retired in 2003, that was it. And it was it. I mean, I was doing private lessons and part-time and stuff. And then when I moved to LA, between singing and working and hustling and doing the gigs, I started teaching at Musicians Institute, which is a college here in Hollywood. And right across the street is Hollywood High School. And I saw a 30-day substitute position, just 30 days. I'm like, oh, I can do that standing on my head. And that was 8 years ago. So they said, we want you to stay. And so they hired me full time, and I've been there ever since. And so I teach choir and show choir and AP Music Theory, and we do the musicals. And I was there throughout the pandemic and doing Zoom school, and I've seen 2 full cycles of kids go from freshman to high school to graduation coming. So this is like the 8th graduating class that I'm going to see this year. And
Wow.
yeah, it's
Wow. Yeah.
pretty crazy. So
Hey, you mentioned your mom
yes, I
before
did.
we started.
My mama.
Is she also a musician?
She is. I mean, she would never say she's a musician, but she played guitar, and she would play for us kids. And, when we were little. And it's funny, the stuff that you remember, like I'm still friends with my childhood friends. And I remember like going to their house and, her mom making us cinnamon toast, and, us hiding on the side of the house waiting for, like, we lived on Long Island. So you could hear the parents like, come home, we'd hide. So our moms would have to like walk over to the other house, and they'd start talking, and then, can Dawn Marie spend the night? So it's funny because we'd like, jump, please. And so she's like, sure. And it's funny because Dawn Marie remembers my mom playing the guitar for us, like singing us to sleep and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Really sweet. Yeah.
Oh,
So
was she like a big influence for you, do you think? And it kind
my
of
mom,
subconsciously influenced you, of course.
my mother definitely influenced me to be creative and to think outside the box and to make things work and happen, because she is like the ultimate artist. She's more of a visual, I would say visual artist. She went to the High School of Art and Design in New York City, and she actually one of her first jobs was like designing dress patterns, I think, for Buttericks. And but she is a fantastic sketch artist, painter. She used to do murals and everything, and she even created games, like board games. She would make board games for us growing up. She would build stuff in the backyard for us to play around with, like little forts and stuff. And she'd make videos. She would be like, let's make videos, like when the cameras were like, you actually put the VHS tape in the thing and
Oh yeah.
carry it on your
Yeah,
shoulder.
yeah.
And so we have videos of us. She just always made growing up fun and creative, and let's do projects and let's do this. And so always amazingly supportive of my art and my music, and just any opportunity was like driving me here and there. She was basically, like a cab service too. So
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Patrizia asked, your surname seems to have an Italian origin. Is that right?
So
Are you-
that's actually my mother's. It's my mother's maiden name, Casalino. And I just always thought it sounded pretty. And, I was very close to my grandfather, my mom's dad. And, rather than like my legal name or my dad's last name, I just thought Casalino just kind of was Casalino. It just kind of embodied me more as an artist. And so, yeah.
All right. I've got we're going to jump ahead
Okay.
to Christmas
Yes.
because you have a very special little thing that you made. And is this part of an album that you already did?
No, this was a single, and a little story about this. I wrote the song a while back, but the video is more recent, and there's a couple of fun facts. So, Christmas songs, they come around every year, and I always feel like we can always use a new one, And
Okay.
the original title was going to be Christmas Isn't Christmas Without You. And a friend of mine was like, why? Why can't it be? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. We have all these like sad, I don't have you around Christmas. And I've been single most of my life, And so I'm like, Christmas is still Christmas without you. So I changed the whole idea of the song and made it more sassy. And what I love about it is that every year I can kind of release it as a new single until it really picks up and gains some momentum, because I think it's a super fun song. And so a couple years ago, I said, you know what? I want to make a video. And I'll tell you about this video where the set we used he wasn't in my class, but when I taught at Durant High School in Florida, he did graduate from that school. And there are 3 other people in the video who also graduated from the high school that I taught at. 2 of them were my students all throughout their 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade years. And again, they graduated in the early 2000s. So even 20 years later, I'm still close with my students. Like, we've built those long lasting friendships. And the other people in the video are just like my best friends from forever. And the Santa is not the original Santa I had wanted. I had my friend who dresses up as Santa was supposed to be in the video, but he had to go to the dentist and then he couldn't make it. So the woman who did my hair and makeup, who also did the hair and makeup for the video we just saw, she adopted 4 kids, and their biological grandfather does Santa. So it was in the middle of the summer. It was literally the day of, like 3 hours before we were starting to shoot. And she called him, and he showed up ready to go, ready to play Santa in this video. So it was like all the stars aligned to be in this video. And
Cool.
I gotta do a special shout out to, I always say, I was so impressed with her. One of my former students, or who went to the school I taught at, is also a 3-time gold medal swimmer in the Olympics. So it's just like, I just love all the people in this video. It just made it a lot of fun for me. And they bought a case of champagne which is Piper Heidsieck. It's my parents' like their champagne. So I said I wanted to like do an homage to them because they're still married. They'd be married 57 years this year.
Okay.
And anyway, they were all getting drunk off of the champagne. Meanwhile, I'm sober trying to like direct this thing. And anyway, it was
So
like
basically,
a
we're going to
Christmas
see a
party in
bunch of
July.
champagne drunks doing your Christmas song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's funny. All right.
Anyway,
Let me pull this in.
This is the song. Yeah.
It's called
Christmas is Still Christmas.
Christmas is Still Christmas.
Yeah.
Lisa Casalino. Here we go. And ba-bum.
Christmas is still Christmas without you. Christmas is still Christmas and all. The bells still jingle for old Kris Kringle, and the snowflakes will start to fall. Yes, Christmas is still Christmas without you. The Christmas lights are twinkling bright. I'm stealing kisses, oh, beneath the mistletoe. It's sure to be a wonderful night. And even though it's Christmas time, there's nothing underneath that tree that can compare to the gift I gave myself when I set my heart free. Because Christmas is still Christmas without you. The carolers are singing with glee, and I can't wait for New Year's, the bubbles and the good cheers. Who knew how merry Christmas could be? There's nothing underneath that tree that can compare to the gift I gave myself when I set your ass free. Because Christmas is a Christmas without you. The carolers are singing with glee, and I can't wait for New Year's, the bubbles and the good cheers. Who knew how merry Christmas could be? And I can't wait for New Year's, the bubbles and the good cheers. Who knew how merry Christmas could be?
Sweet.
My mom drew that graphic.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, she drew that for me. Yeah.
I must say the Santa was fairly realistic there.
That's his real hair.
I could tell. And he was he
mean-
was looking like, I've had a couple glasses of champagne. I'm doing good. I'm doing fine.
Who has a Santa in their back pocket? I don't know. My makeup artist. It was just meant to be. Yeah.
That's very cute.
Thanks.
I'm gonna ask my lovely wife to come in.
Yay.
She was saying, have Lisa sing, but we're not we're not doing that part today. That's why I played the videos for you, because you're not really set up to do that. So if my lovely wife can come and join us, I have a little surprise for her too.
Ooh.
So we'll wait for her to come in and say hi to Miss Lisa. Hopefully she can do that.
Yeah. I love you guys.
We love you. We miss you too.
So lucky that I have. Sorry, this is coming into the view now because
Oh, look who's there.
it's Eliza Doolittle. Say hi.
That's cute.
She's been patient, but she's like ready. She's ready to go. You were some of the first people that I met when I moved here through Rhonda Shear, actually.
Rhonda Shear. Okay, here's
Yes.
say hello to Miss Devon.
Hello,
Hello, hon.
gorgeous.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, I miss you.
You,
Aw.
you're such that whole vintage thing that you do, and you do it so well. You're an old soul. Beautiful thing, and you do this in spades so well in shows.
Thank
Congrats!
you.
Oh, your baby.
Yeah, she was sitting on the couch, but I see. Yeah, look at Prince.
Yeah, there's
Say
Prince.
hi. Hi. Ron, I told you it was going to turn into a puppy show.
Yeah,
I guess so. Everything's going to the dogs now.
actually, Mr. Prince has an interview with a magazine.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. We have to get him to his interview here soon.
Yeah, you think she's kidding, but this woman from our area here actually saw us because I was performing over at another little place, and she came up and went, "I would really be interested in interviewing Mr. Prince for this article," and so it is what it is. But before we do that, before we end here, I have a little something I'd like to do for my lovely wife, as fate would have it, yesterday, May 4th, may the 4th be with you, 20 years before that, on May 4th, in Mastro's in Beverly Hills, my lovely wife and I were reintroduced by Lorenzo Lamas.
Was our first date.
Barbara Moore and Lorenzo Lamas. It was basically our first date where we met each other, right? So
amazing.
Yesterday we kind of celebrated that a little bit. But I wanted to do something for dedicated to my lovely wife for 20 more years, if we are lucky, and that would be so outstanding if that was possible. But I've enjoyed all 20 years so far. So
Ditto.
this is for you, my love. Lady, are you happy? Do you feel the way I do? Are there things and meanings you've never seen before? Lady, my sweet lady, I still can't believe it's true. And it's like I've never ever loved before. Close your eyes and rest your weary mind. I promise I will stay right here beside you. Today our lives were joined, became entwined, and I wish that you could know how much I love you. Lady, my sweet lady, do you feel the way I do? And it's like I've never ever loved before.
Wow. Okay, hon, what are you trying to
Aw.
make me
Ron, you
cry?
set the bar high. I mean, come on now. Couple goals right there.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
trying to make me me emotional.
Oh, I know. I'm starting to cry.
Lisa, I love you too. I love
I
you
love
so
you
much, and
guys
we miss
so
you.
much. I miss you.
And
I'm gonna come see you in Europe. I'm gonna come one of these days.
okay, okay.
I'm
Thank you
there.
for
Let's get
joining
something.
us. Thank you
Thank
for
you for
joining us
inviting
today.
me. This is really special. It means so much to me. I really
Now,
your
let's
love
tell
and
everybody
support.
where to find you. At
Well, at
Lisa
Lisa
Casalino.
Casalino, at Lisa Casalino on
Here, let me see if
Instagram
I can.
and Facebook,
I think
and
I can have this here.
there
Is that
it is.
right? There we
Yeah,
go.
perfect. That's me.
At Lisa Casalino on Instagram, and is the
Yeah.
same for Facebook and
Facebook
all.
and YouTube and I guess Twitter X, and I don't really do that too
Okay.
much anymore, but all that stuff. And
All right.
Liza Do has one too, so Eliza Doolittle 2012.
Eliza Doolittle has a page too.
I
So
keep
does
putting,
Mr. Prince.
I
Mr.
know, I
Prince
keep
has.
putting a tennis racket in her paws, but she won't play. I need to find a bit, another way of retirement here, but I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
cute, cute. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We love you guys for joining us on these wonderful Sundays.
Hey,
We will be back next Sunday as well at 9 o'clock in Europe and 3 o'clock in the Eastern Standard Time and 12 o'clock on the Pacific Standard Time. So I want all of our European fans to realize we're going to 9 o'clock now. So tell everybody, share, share, share. Please share it all out. And here you go, Devin.
Aw,
aw,
Tammy.
definitely. The most beautiful.
you guys are sweet.
They love your blouse.
Oh, it's actually Catherine Kelly Lang's caftan that she gave me.
Oh, really?
Don't have a tripod, hon, to be holding the phone like this. So
Oh, yeah.
trying to, because you just sprung this on me at the spur of the moment,
I know. I'm always putting everybody on the.
That's my fault. I'm like, am I going to see Devin?
Okay,
Girl.
well, that's okay.
Who makes the best? You make the best quesadillas, by the way. If anyone doesn't know, she makes the best quesadillas.
And it is Cinco de Mayo, so
There it is.
But I'm
Happy
not,
Cinco de Mayo to everybody. Yes.
yes.
Do they celebrate that in Europe? I don't know if they do. All right, you guys, thanks so much. We love you. We will be back next Sunday. Share to everybody, and keep yourself sane in this crazy ass world we're in. Keep positive affirmations, positive thoughts about everything, because things will turn around. I promise you. All right. I love you, and we will see you next week. Say goodbye, Lisa, and thank you as well.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Stay here with us. And
You're
we'll,
the best fans, Ron.
okay, here we go. And